Black dudes dating white women because white women love our dicks. I mean, love our penises. My bad.
And what about the theory, a lot of black men that I've interviewed have told me that they perceive black women are often seen as less submissive.
Because some black women, they want to come off as independent. I don't need a man, blah, blah, blah. Like, sometimes some black women don't want their man to take control, I guess, and they want to be seen as independent. I don't need nobody.
Indeed, that's a very common cultural trend in the black community, from what I've heard, right? And again, if you want proof of this, just go to Kevin Samuel's channel. Rest in peace, Kevin. Rest in peace. Anyway.
A powerful black woman. We ain't no beta bitch. We alphas up in this motherfucker.
Oh my God. Here we go. You cannot make this shit up. Guys, there is no such thing as an alpha female. Well, okay, that's not true. An alpha male is a strong, independent man that doesn't need a woman. Okay, that's an alpha male. An alpha female is the most attractive woman for men. Okay, so the most attractive woman for men is a woman who is maximally fit, 18 to 23 years old, feminine, submissive, loyal, and bedroom fun, loyal, and cooperative. So that is what an alpha female is. A girl who acts like a man is not an alpha female. She is a man with woman parts. Hello and welcome to the Helios blog. My name is Helios, here for another reaction video. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, hitting all for notifications. If you'd like me to comment on a video, compilation, maybe a Reddit post, please send it to theheliosblog@gmail.com. All right, let's continue.
Hold on, but y'all not bitches though, y'all ladies.
Oh my God. Well, right. They want to be treated like a lady, but act like a, like something else. And that's just what it is. Not for every black woman, but some, right? And again, it's because they've been taught wrong what it is that men are actually interested in. So look, she's failed many of the tests for what men want. So she's not physically fit, she's not feminine, she's probably not loyal, she's not cooperative, she's not submissive, she's not the traits that men want. And so probably, if you look at this girl's finger, we can scan it here. She won't be married.
And like he said,
look at her finger. Let's look at the left hand here.
He said, we're queens. And like he said, we're queens.
Oh my! Oh no! It looks like she is married. Interesting. Who would marry her? Oh God, that's going to be a divorce real soon. Oh no. Yeah, and again, they say we're strong, we're independent, we're queens. Okay. Let me give you the definition of a queen. Are you ready? A queen is the wife of a king. So if you are not married to a king, you cannot be a queen by definition. Now, a queen cannot marry a man and promote him to king. So, just saying. So these women are not queens.
And at the end of the day, we're alpha. And it's okay to be that. Because
it's okay to be that, true. You can act and speak as you like because we have free speech. That is true. But the problem is the following. Actions have consequences. You can't behave exactly as you want and do whatever you want as a woman and then not have the consequences come and hit you later, right? So, while you are entitled to behave as you like, there are consequences to behaving like an entitled queen. And those consequences are that you're going to end up 38 alone with cats. Divorce is nigh inevitable with behavior like this. Even though she does seem to be married, she has a ring on her finger.
if we weren't, guess what? We would be doing horrible. We would be doing horrible. We got to be strong, or else we're going to get walked all over on.
And this is the thing, right? These women have been taught incorrectly that men are the oppressor, that men are this evil thing, and that if you submit to a man, and if you let the man make the decisions, and if you are subservient to a man, that your life is over, that you're valueless, that you're garbage, that you're trash, that you are oppressed. But that isn't true. That's simply womanist indoctrination. And actually, those beliefs lead to the destruction of Western society. So her belief set actually leads to the destruction of the nuclear family. And it also leads to her being alone with cats. So no, they wouldn't be treated terribly if they acted like submissive, loyal, cooperative, and friendly. No. In fact, their outcomes would be much, much better if they were physically fit, of course.
Why do so many women think that being submissive is a sign of weakness?
Because most women that are submissive get ran over.
That actually isn't true. That is actually not true. There are... Okay. Here is the case in modern society, okay? If a woman who is submissive gets with a man who's in the top 5 to top 1% to top 0.5%, whatever, then yes, she's going to get walked all over because the guy is not going to commit. But she's going to get destroyed anyway if she's going for the top 5 to 1 to 0.5% man anyway, right? So it doesn't really change the outcome there. Where submission helps is when a woman is realistic about her level, gets into a relationship with a man who's on her level, and then submits to him, then she's going to have very, very good long-term relationship outcomes, which will lead to her having a family that's stable, and to having children, and being happy, and reproducing, and succeeding in her biological imperative. So, yes, it's true. If she's submissive and goes for the absolute apex man who will never commit anyway, then yes, she'll be walked all over. Absolutely. But that shouldn't be women's goal anyway. The only reason they're doing that is because they've been brainwashed to believe that they should be independent of men. So it's actually just an incorrect whole sort of framework of thinking.
Okay, but at the same time, wouldn't you also say that a lot of men that trust their women and, you know, make themselves vulnerable will get run over as well?
Yep, because we got a friend who do it to her man all the time.
Right. This is why, as a man, you cannot be a nice guy, right? Because in 2022 dating, if you're going to be a nice guy, you're going to get absolutely ran over. You're going to get destroyed. You cannot be the guy that is, supportive and loving and do everything the girl wants and everything she says and kiss up to her and, be a good friend and be friends first and all this garbage. If you do that stuff, you're just going to get absolutely mauled in 2022 society. You cannot behave that way. You're going to have a very, very bad time. Men cannot be submissive. In order for a man to be strong in life, he has to be... in order for a man to be successful in life, he has to be strong. And you cannot be strong by being some other person's mental point of origin. You are the absolute monarch of your life. You are the ruler, and so you make decisions for your kingdom. The woman does not control the frame of the relationship, and if she desires to, she desires to make you a puppet king. If she desires to make you a puppet king, she shouldn't be with you. You should actively select women in your life who are going to accept that you are the king.
Drag them through the mud.
And is it possible to be in love without making yourself vulnerable?
Yeah.
No, it's absolutely not possible. Actually, it's possible for a man to be in love without making himself vulnerable. That's possible. But for a woman to be in love without making herself vulnerable is utterly impossible. For a woman to be in love, she has to be totally in the frame of the man she's with. She cannot do that without being vulnerable. She cannot do that without being feminine. So it's utterly impossible for a woman to not be vulnerable and to fall in love. And so women who act as men do and, are alpha, as that girl 2 questions ago said that she was, they're actually incapable of love. And in fact, they're much more likely to be in a transactional relationship. Though, to some extent, all relationships are transactional anyway.
No. Yeah. No.
though.
Yeah.
It's okay to be vulnerable to a man, a good man.
Absolutely. Top 5 thumbs up for that. That's absolutely right. For a good man, for a strong man, for a solid man, you should be vulnerable. That's right. You don't have to be vulnerable to every man. I agree entirely. And in fact, giving your vulnerability away too easily is, that is actually something that women do far too easily nowadays, I would say. I would say that in order to have bedroom fun with a guy, a woman has to be vulnerable. And many women are being that vulnerable on the first date. So they're literally giving away some of their most valuable things right away, right? Like the whole concept of hookup culture, right? It's like it favors men at the top 5% to 1%, of course, and higher. But it doesn't favor women. It actually destroys them, and by extension, it destroys society. So it's actually very negative for our society for this to happen. And so I agree entirely that like women should be taught how they used to be taught. We should bring back shaming. We should bring back fault divorce. We should repeal my body, my choice. And basically, the society will self-correct. Although, to be honest, society is going to self-correct anyway, through just sheer natural selection. Because if women believe the incorrect thing and don't have children, or they have children past the age of 35, their children will be weak, mentally and physically, and they'll lose to the children of women who have had children younger. And through sheer natural selection, the thought process, the cancerous womanist thought process will disappear eventually. The only problem is the womanist concepts need to lower, or at least have a counter in the mass media, in pop culture, in schools, because if people are taught that all men are trash and that women should be independent of men, then whether they are foreign or not, whether they believe, whether they're young or not, the children will still end up being hurt through this indoctrination process. Okay, anyway.
A good man.
A worthy man.
A worthy man. A strong woman.
Being vulnerable to a worthy man.
A strong.
Oh, here's something I wanted to mention. There's this thing that's talked about on Fresh and Fit. It's called conditional vulnerability, right? It's like, if you are strong, then I will be feminine. But otherwise, I'm going to be masculine and I'm going to go and sleep around and stuff. No. Women need to be taught to be feminine, but only to give away their femininity and their commitment and their bedroom fun to men who are worthy, right? Nowadays, here's what's happening, okay? Nowadays, what's happening is women are sleeping with the absolute top % of men. And later on, they're then saying, no, I will not give myself away unless you're worthy. But that is going about it entirely incorrectly. Women should say, I will not give myself away unless you're worthy from the beginning, and seek commitment and marriage first, like it used to happen. Of course, again, the genie's out of the bottle. The way that our culture works, this will never happen. But this is how society could self-correct if it were to. I think actually what's much more likely is society will collapse and then will be, will come back in a new form, right, with strong men at the head. That's probably happening in the next 50 to 80 years. That's my prediction. But we shall see, because again, the West is in sharp decline, and I believe that its collapse will herald the beginning of a new age. Now, whether the people and the current ideologies of the people in power will continue in the next 50 to 80 years as a result of this, whether they'll actually be here or replaced with more conservative ideologies, I don't know. But I think it's likely that we'll go back to a more conservative ideology. I just hope that it doesn't become extreme far-right conservative. But again, I'm not in control of the future, and I wasn't the one that created the cultural tide. I'm just connecting the dots for you guys. Okay.
Man.
Does a man have the right to define what a woman is?
Not at all.
False. In fact, men are the only ones that get to define, well, I guess, and women that are interested in women. They are the only ones that get to define what a woman should be in order to be attractive. Because it isn't the person that decides their value, but the market that decides their value. It's the law of supply and demand, right? it's the idea of the customer being right. So what men want women to be is what men determine as being attractive. So whether women want to be that way or not doesn't change that fact. And many women believing that you can't define me by your parameters, I can be whatever I want. Well, sure, you can be, and you have free speech, and you have the rights to your own, body and your own choices, of course. But the choices that you make and the way you choose to portray yourself and the way that you choose to act has consequences to the other gender that leads to good results or poor results. So there you go.
Not at all. I disagree with that.
I disagree with that one too.
Okay, so then what gives women the right to define what a real man is?
Indeed. And this is a very common, very, very common thing in our society where a girl will say, you are only a real man if, and then there's a litany of things that you must be in order to be a real man. And these things are all things that favor women, right? So you are a real man if you take care of my child by another man. You are a real man if you take me on $100 dinner for first date. You are a real man if you treat me as somebody who's sugar spice and everything nice. You're only a real man if you commit to me up front. You're only a real man, and the list goes on and on and on. But these are not the things that determine what a real man is. Although I did say earlier that the market decides, right? So women determine what men are successful, right? And here is actually what makes a man successful, because these are the men that women are choosing as the men that they sleep with when they're in their rock star phase from the age of 18 to 23. Tall, highly physically fit, lots of money, highly charismatic, good game, and with friends and socially well connected. So that is what women have determined makes a superior man. And these other brainwashy things that womanism tells women to tell men in order for men to become submissive doormats to women, those are not the things that make a man a real man. The market has decided, which is women's choice, and you can tell what women choose based on what they choose on Tinder and so on Instagram, and just in general, if you look at what women will choose in a group of men, just look at studies, you'll see that what I'm speaking of is correct.
Just like they have the right to define what a real woman is.
Well, right, but aren't women always saying like a real man should be this and a real man should be that?
Just like men say that. Just like men say that we should be this and we should be that.
We should be able to cook. We should be able to
cook, clean.
Which we should.
All that.
Definitely.
Yes, and I do all that shit.
Okay, but cooking and cleaning is not enough. See, again, another example of women that don't understand what men actually want, right? So, yes, cooking and cleaning is part of being feminine, which is a trait that men find attractive. But it isn't the only trait that men find attractive. So again, let me list the qualities because I keep listing them every video. Fit, feminine, submissive, loyal in a bedroom fun sense, and cooperative. Now, the way these girls are talking about men, the implication is that they're not cooperative, they're not feminine, they're not loyal, etc. And when they say, you can't define me how you want, I do what I want, that sort of thing is a way to guarantee that you're not going to have a true long-term relationship. So there it is.
But
at the day,
yeah,
it goes both ways.
Often we do try to define what a real man is, and you know what? It's crazy because we can't figure it out until.
That's right. Well, I mean, it's funny that they say they can't figure it out. By their actions, they have determined what they see as the most attractive men, and those men are actually bad for them. So, I mean, maybe we should go back to the culture where men chose the husband. Because when men choose the husband, at least the girl ends up, with a stable man and has children and, can fulfill a biological imperative. The way that our society is going now, I mean, that's not what's happening at all. It's just sharp decline. All right. We're going to end the video there. Let's go to our Reddit post. So here we go. My girlfriend, 27, and the man is 28, of 6 years and fiance of 8 months just cheated on me, but all I can think about is who she did it with. AFBB immediately. Like, I swear, guys, 99% of the relationship advice here is just the girl is with the guy because she sees him as a useful idiot or like a good provider, and then she goes and sleeps with a man with better genes. Like 99% of the time, it's the same story. I've been torn about posting this, but as the title describes, my fiance just cheated on me, okay? It sucks. My fiance went on a trip last weekend with a group of her friends to one of their parents' summer houses. Okay, so guys, you never allow your girl to go on a trip without you. You never allow your girl to go out with a mixed group if you're not present. You never allow your girl to go on girls' night out. These are just things your girl will never be able to do. It's not allowed. I was supposed to go, but something came up last minute and I couldn't. She was supposed to be gone until Sunday, but she came home on Saturday in a state and told me she slept with one of her friends the night before. Right, and this is a classic. It's just that he's just a friend, or he's just a friend, don't worry about him, or, you know, whatever. But here's the thing. And this is why I say that one of the relationship rules is no male friends, because there's no such thing as a male friend. Every male friend, when given the opportunity, will try to sleep with her, which means he's not a friend. He's trying to sleep with her. So there you go. I was obviously crushed, but nothing compared to how crushed I was when she told me who with. Here we go. The guy is an asshole and I've never liked him and I just can't wrap my head around the fact that she would sleep with him. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I can tell you exactly why she did it. The reason why she did it, as my avatar crashes, the reason why she did it is because he is a guy of high testosterone and she was ovulating. Men with high testosterone are usually, what's the word? They don't really care what other people think of them, and so they don't really care if they hurt other people's feelings, and so they come off as assholes, right? She was very drunk, but I still can't deal with it. Well, of course not. A girl sleeping with you is an immediate end to the relationship, obviously. I kind of feel like I almost don't care about the fact that she cheated, but it's just that it was with this guy. If it had been anyone else, I could move past it. Well, the fact that you as a man are saying that you'd be okay with her cheating on you already shows everything we need to show. To her, you're a useful idiot. She's with you because you have that trait. She's going to cheat on you and have the children of another man while you take care of her. That's just it. So you need to wise up, because this sort of behavior is not going to work. Are these feelings normal? Has anyone dealt with something similar? Okay, this is ridiculous. Okay, so here's top comment. The problem is this guy is part of a friend group. So what's the likely scenario moving forward? That all of her friends who are there where she slept with him shun him from the group? Can you trust her friends after this? Does she distance herself from the group? How often will you bump into him? There is no easy path forward, and don't kid yourself. You haven't even begun to unpack the emotional trauma you've just suffered. If you marry her, do you think you're ready to spend literally the rest of your life fighting off the demons of insecurity, resentment, mental images, and feelings of inadequacy and broken trust? I follow another poster on here who is 5+ years out from D-Day and he's still fighting those demons. Another poster on here spent 3 years trying to reconcile with an extremely remorseful wife who did all the right things, but he ultimately couldn't do it anymore and is currently divorcing her. I couldn't do it. Your young mate finds someone who can give you a clean slate. Her slate will never be clean. There you go. So 196 upvotes to that, and I agree entirely. So the point is, if the girl cheats on you, it's over. If she has male friends, it's over. If she goes in parties without you or goes on a trip without you, it's over. Okay, here is what they're not telling you. What they're not telling you is this supposed girlfriend, who's supposed to be loyal to this guy, she actively went on this trip with the intention of sleeping with that guy and then did it. Do you understand? She's with the boyfriend because he's a useful idiot who'll let her get away with this kind of stuff. So, guys, never ever let yourself be this guy, because it's ridiculous. All right. I think we're going to end the video there. Again, really appreciate you guys watching. If you agree or disagree with the stuff that I've said, please leave a comment. That's what the comment box is for. You're liking the videos, you're new to the channel, please leave a sub and hit all for notifications. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for watching my channel. Please remember to do all of the following. Like the video for the algorithm. Comment on the video. I respond to all comments and I'll give you a heart. Subscribe and hit the bell so you can see my content on your feed. Check out all of my content on other platforms. It spreads the reach of the channel. YouTube, bit.ly/heliosyoutube. Rumble, bit.ly/heliosrumble. My blog is realheliosblog.com. My podcast, bit.ly/heliospodcast. My Patreon, patreon.com/theheliosblog. You can also support the show at bit.ly/heliosdonations and buy my books at bit.ly/heliosbooks. Thank you so much for all of your support.